Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today we have a dev blog to read, and it is because it came out today. I suppose we'll just kind of read the thing, and I'll give you guys my initial thoughts and impressions as we go through it, and then we'll call that one a video on the dev blog. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on it. Today we have the Road to Fanfest update, and Nico wants to say hi, because Nico's adorable. Road to Fanfest, ever closer. Greetings, Capsulers. Fanfest 2022 is quickly approaching, and it's hard to believe that it's just over 7 weeks' time. We will finally be welcoming you to the ultimate party at the top of the world in Reykjavik. I cannot pronounce that for the life of me. I guess I have to hear it out loud a few times. We can't tell you how much we at CCP are looking forward to meeting you again in person. To share the exciting plans for EVE Online as we continue to get into the spirit of Fanfest, there's still much to look forward to on the road to getting there. So far, the road to Fanfest has been filled with a slew of updates, including significant changes to compression, a new mysterious mining adventure added to the MPE, sizable graphic updates, sweeping boosts to every resistance module in the game, balance changes to the crab, and player-owned customs office, POCOs, as well as extensive updates to Battleship, all of which you can read in the Road to Fanfest blog from last week. There's still a little time to go until Fanfest 2022, and there's much more to come between now and then. Several updates are making their first appearances in the Singularity test server today that we'll be covering in this blog, starting with improvements to the structures. So they're just like getting excited about it in this note, and having Fanfest right around the corner is really exciting. Stand up and deliver. Upwell structures have taken New Eden by storm since their introduction, be it in high-sec wormholes or wormhole space, providing the core of EVE's industry, fierce strategic significance, and everything in between. There have been many changes to these structures since their launch in 2016, but they are once again the focus of an ongoing initiative to create more exciting gameplay around attacking and defending them. This next update, now available to test in Singularity, targets the balance of fighting in and around these structures. The first set of changes involves updates to 4 key modules. Changes are being introduced to the stand-up point defense battery that require it to use ammunition loaded into the module, as well as giving it a longer reload time. This will create downtime for the point defense battery so that there are windows for counterplay when small ships can drop into the fight and warp off before it's reloaded and ready to fire again. The stand-up guided bomb launcher attributes are being adjusted so it holds fewer bombs and takes longer to reload. The launcher, when all bombs are spent, this will take longer to reload when all bombs are spent. This will create a window where bomb is uses more tactical and not primary defense weapon of a structure has in its arsenal. Unfortunately, I don't do a lot of combat around these sites or around citadels since I'm a high-sec care bear and I really kind of avoid them because they allow you to be war decked. But adding a little bit of flexibility in the fights would make them not like the $1 million fight from 2017 where we were throwing rocks at each other over the fence, which was an interesting thing that happened a long time ago. The damage of the stand-up anti-capital missiles has been reduced so that capsulers will be more willing to field capitals during a siege. Attackers will be less at risk paying more for dropping a few dreads than the structure their attacking costs, at least without defenders putting their own ships on grid. While their anti-capital use has been adjusted, the missiles of the stand-up missile has been increased so that they remain able to catch and damage sub-capital ships. So the missile speed of them, the stand-up missiles are relatively slow and have a hard time actually hitting targets. So speeding them up will allow them to have better damage, which is good because sub-capital DPS is fairly low in structure, is my understanding. Stand-up arcing Vorton projectors will be receiving an update, removing their ability to target sub-capital ships. This means that they can't be used purely to headshot enemy fleet commanders, as well as further reinforcing their purpose as anti-capital defense. Updates such as these are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Upwell structures, and we've had some fantastic lengthy discussions about them with both CSM and the community regarding their reinforcement phases. Upwell structures should maintain their value while being balanced in terms of investment costs for their owners and the effort required to destroy them. We're hard at work in this area to look forward to sharing the details with you as we get closer to Fanfest. This is the one that people in my Discord are talking about the most, the Rockwell Hot Drop. As you may have seen last week, a new Rockwell module has made it into testing on Singularity, providing it with a new and powerful maneuverability and logistics tool. Mining operations across nullsec and lowsec will transform, as Rockwells will now be able to conduit jump 30 mining ships next to them, allowing for better logistics for large-scale mining operations combined with unparalleled boost in compression, along with the already powerful panic modules, and the fact that they will be able to jump to industrial silos. The Rockwell cements itself as the most powerful mining support ship New Eden has to offer. So this gives more value to the Rockwell, whereas a lot of Rockwell pilots are complaining right now that their Rockwells aren't worth it. But making it a conduit to jump, 30 mining ships through and the ability to move your mining fleet very rapidly, that's awesome. I like that they're adding this. It'll make mining and moving your mining fleet a lot better and reduce the need for various jump clones and regions, and allow the indie pilots to more easily move their mining ships around, which I think is really, really cool. Anyways, I'm excited for this, even though I'm a high set Care Bear. Seeing production be easier is nice, and then conduiting things is good. For the logistics and moving things around is nice. We'll have to see what this means. If this means like freighters can come through as well, I'm not sure exactly what it means, but we'll have to see how it develops and what will actually be able to go through with it and what cannot go through. But this could turn the Rockwell into an absolutely useful or a super useful asset for industry and production and logistics. So I'm super stoked for that, to see exactly what this means. From strength to strength, the changes to resistance modules and battleships have been rippling throughout New Eden, and there are some more small updates. The bolster bulkhead resistance buff has put a spotlight on Tech 3 cruisers, but it is apparent that the once strong and popular Proteus is underperforming compared to the other ships in the line. This is in part due to the low fitting room and low speed. Its potential is being further unlocked through the easing of the fitting space to allow the Proteus to more comfortably fit a 1600mm plate alongside a full rack of neutron blasters, without necessitating spending a valuable low slot rig on a fitting module. The plate mass change will also give it a slightly speed boost to make it a bit more mobile while armor plates are fit, making it slightly easier to get into position to use those blasters effectively. So it looks like they're giving a light tweak to the Proteus, which will allow better fits, an increase in power grid, and apparently a bonus to plate mass. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do that, but making the Proteus slightly more agile and giving it the ability to actually fit a plate might bring it in competition with the other Tech 3 cruisers, and the Tech 3 cruisers are awesome. Historically in EVE, organized groups of stealth bombers have always contributed interesting counterplay to battleships, all while showing off the very high skill cap that a well-orchestrated bombing run requires. For those groups building up their battleship reserves, an issue fixed here increase the strength of stealth bombers as they receive a cooldown reduction for bomb launchers, meaning they will be able to come back for a second bombing run more rapidly. With the bomb deployment skill train to 5, a Tech 2 launcher can launch a bomb every 67 seconds instead of 120. So this is almost a doubling in the firepower of bombs, which I don't know how useful it'd actually be, because bomb runs are kind of hard to pull off, and they take some time to organize and orchestrate. But having a higher DPS output for each of the bomb launchers and their AoE damage, so the devastation of this can get really high if we can do multiple runs in succession rather than waiting 2 minutes for another run. Tech 2, instead of 120, Tech 1 bomb launcher will have a reactivation delay of 80 seconds, down from 144. Small adjustments will continue to be made as the meta unfolds to ensure that one playstyle doesn't become too dominant and players can continue to enjoy more options and diversity. Test drive features preview system. I didn't read this part, so this is my very first time reading this. As part of an ongoing effort to lay the foundation for EVE Online's third decade, we're happy to introduce the new feature preview system, which allows you to opt in and engage with complex features still undergoing active development, test drive them directly in the EVE Online client. Feedback will be more fully incorporated into the prototypical process by allowing you to access these features early while they're being developed, your invaluable feedback on past features has already improved and shaped them into better additions to Eve. And this new way of testing will allow for more exposed development, enabling earlier chances for players to express important feedback, while also allowing development teams to gather information on how you play Eve and what is the best to aid you in that pursuit. The debut feature the debut preview feature will be a UI unification project aimed at improving consistency, creating better onboarding experience for new players, and reducing cognitive load for all players. This update brings adjustments to the window style, margin and spacing, as well as a unification of UI color schemes used for feedback purposes. Blue to call for action buttons, orange for warning interactions, and so forth. The features offered in the preview system are temporary and can easily be turned on and off. It's important to note that this feature will not be in their final form. You can read more about this feature in the detailed dev blog and share feedback on the official discussion thread. Changing the UI is going to be met with a lot of resistance, but improving it and making it easier to understand and comprehend will be amazing for new players. I'm always for generally anything that makes consuming and learning the game easier for new players. I'm always on board with that and making it the game more accessible. So depending on how the UI comes out and how it does, I'll probably be pretty happy about this, but having the UI be simpler and more understandable will be fantastic. I'm actually excited for that. Blueprint changes coming soon is another hot topic that has been discussed in my Discord. The previously mentioned blueprint changes to the faction ships, dreadnoughts, and capital ships are taking shape after careful review of the impact the impact that the update to compression has made to the market this March, and we'll be sharing the details of these updates mid-April, just before Fanfest. We are so excited to share our plans with you, and once they're finally live, seeing how these updates impact the battle landscape of New Eden, as well as the inevitability to lead to more of these ships wreaking havoc on the battlefield. Fanfest on the horizon. EVE Fanfest 2022 is just around the corner, and with sales of tickets continuing unabated, it's gearing up to be the best one yet. Get yourself in the zone for amazing developer and player presentations, unforgettable events, sharing your collective passion for New Eden, and person with your fellow Capsuleers. There's even more on the horizon as the party draws closer, with many exciting plans in the works to be revealed at FanFest. Also beyond, stay tuned over the coming weeks as we reveal more of what you can expect by keeping your eye on EVE Online social channels and the EVE FanFest website for more details. The excitement within CCP is palpable, and we cannot wait to see you all again in person in May. Until then, we look forward to keeping you posted about this and even more updates on our road to FanFest. And then note with the fly safe, I'm excited that we're gonna actually have a event again, even though I'm personally not going to be able to go. This one is having a convention again will be good for the community. We've been a couple years without one, and I feel like it's been hard on the online community because we have so many conventions around the world every year in this community, and since COVID happened, not having an actual convention has been interesting to say the least, as they don't really have the kind of excitement that they normally have around these events. Anyways, that's my little 2 cents and the reading of the dev blog for today. I know it's not a patch notes video, and if you guys liked me reading the dev blog or have suggestions on how I can read the dev blog better, I know this one was kind of wordy and hard for me to wrap my head around as as I was reading it. But I did enjoy reading it to you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Make sure you guys fly fun, continue enjoying yourself in EVE Online, and I will see you guys in the next one.